Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chats, folks, for your daily live updates. Get the most out of today's episode by participating in the chat. Make sure you ask some questions, be part of the conversation, have a bit of fun, grab a coffee or a tea, take some notes, and get ready to start your day, folks. Quick few housekeeping rules, though. No spamming, no advertising or self-promotion in the chat. That's not on. Be kind and respectful to everyone when participating. And most of all, have a good time. Real estate investing can be your biggest asset. It also can be your most expensive asset when it comes to getting it right or getting it wrong, folks. It can be time-consuming, stressful, and that's why here at Positive, we have what's called a 6-star team, a full-service team that provides integrated wealth and property investing solutions and services simply designed to help you progress towards your goal of passive income through your property portfolio, folks. Make sure you check out our other podcasts on the Positive Mentor Network. Not only is there Wealth Coffee Chats, there's the Urban Property Investor. Drops every Wednesday with straight talking investing strategies and lessons with Sam Saggers. Property Investor Tales. This is where our clients, you guys, share real life stories from property investing, hosted by some of our advisors and strategists. And that's done every fortnight, dropping every Monday. Wealth, Wine and Wisdom, folks, that debriefs the week that was in the world of finance and property, hosted by yours truly, Jason Witten and Andy Fenton on Fridays. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Marvellous Monday. Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are. If you think it's Get Rich Quick, you're in the wrong place. This is the wrong podcast. This is the wrong live for you. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Hope you're all awesome and well.
Hi everybody, welcome to another Finance Friday Wealth Coffee Chat. We just wanted to start by saying good evening, Kevin, and good day, Jeff. As always, I start with a finance joke, and today's one is, why do you keep your money away from balloons? It may be affected by inflation. Kind of funny, but kind of not with everything that's going on. Right now, with inflation, potentially the RBA saying that we could have another interest rate rise before rates start coming down again. But we've spoken about that previously. Today, I actually wanted to chat about how myself and my team help our clients use equity and the way we structure existing equity in your properties to help build your property portfolio or start your property portfolio. So a few years ago, I had, I'm just going to try something different today. So a few years ago, one of my clients came to me and said, I wanted to buy a property for $750,000. And at the time, we borrowed $600,000 for them. They've gone away, worked really hard, and they came back to me a few years ago, and their property is now worth $1 million. And they had reduced their loan down to $500,000. Oops. So when I went back to the banks, we were looking at a property that's valued at $3 million. There is about $300,000 worth of equity that the clients could use to be able to start investing. Usually when we borrow equity from your existing home, we want to keep it at 80% because that avoids mortgage insurance. If you borrow more than 80%, then you have to pay mortgage insurance. And again, I've said before, mortgage insurance it helps the lender. It helps protect the lender. It actually doesn't benefit you in any way. So now that we've got access to this $300,000, the question is, what can we do with it? Now, you could use this as a deposit. You use this. So this can be the deposit for the investment property. Okay. Now, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we actually have two options that we could potentially look at this time. And when I was sitting down with the clients, we can look at using the 300,000 in full, which is 20% plus cost for the new investment property. So this is scenario one. Scenario two is potentially looking at $150,000 and borrowing 90% twice. Okay. So we just need to make sure that the $150,000 covers 17% of the purchase price. So running through both scenarios, what I spoke to the clients about is talking to the finding property that sits within the budget of being able to purchase two properties, or else purchasing just one property and using the full 300,000. So at 150,000, we would be looking at a property of approximately 880,000. So you could look at two properties at 880,000. Again, we just need to make sure that your income services the loan for both investment properties. But yeah, my clients were able to look at two properties for 880,000, or if they were to use just the 300,000, we would only be looking at one property at 1.25 million. Now, understandably, 90% means we have to look at mortgage insurance, but mortgage insurance, I would look at mortgage insurance in that scenario as the ability, the cost to acquire the actual property, and all of this gets claimed within your taxes as well, as long as it's structured correctly. But as you can see, in this particular scenario, my clients could look at, properties of 1.6 million in total, or one property at 1.2 million. So not only are we accessing existing equity in their home to start to build the investment property portfolio, but once we've got access to that, there is a way to structure it so that we can accelerate how quickly we could build up our property portfolio as well. Now, not all cases you would use your equity for the purpose of building an investment property portfolio. You could actually use it, take out access the equity to actually grow other investments, invest in shares. There are a lot of options that you can do. You can use the funds for. The key to this is to actually make sure that you understand how much equity is available for you and what are you actually doing with that equity, and how is it helping you either pay off your home loan faster, or building, or how is it helping you build your wealth? Because I've had other clients who've had $200,000 loans. I've actually got one at the moment where he's essentially paid off his home, and his home's worth about $1.2 million. Now, in his particular case, he did not, his goal was to be able to pay off his home. And so, we respect that. but also in the same conversation, he had a lot of equity that was sitting there that could have been deployed over the last couple of years to actually help him pay off his home loan a lot faster. But again, for us as brokers, we want to make sure that we understand what your goals are and how do we help you achieve those goals. Now he's come back, and now we have an opportunity to access $1 million and work out how to deploy that into multiple investment properties, and supercharge his investment journey. So depending on where you're currently at in terms of paying off your home loan, reach out and have a conversation with your broker to see if you have any equity and what you can actually look at using that equity for. Because if you plan it correctly, you will be able to use investment properties, borrowing the full amount and leveraging the investment property to help pay down your home loan faster. There's actually ways about doing that. Now during COVID, actually during the time where interest rates have dropped dramatically, we saw interest rates go from 8% all the way down to 2%. If you, we had clients in situations where interest rates were really low, the value of the property was increasing extremely quickly, and they were on very good income. There is an opportunity there when what we call is equity locking, which means you may not actually need the funds for any particular purpose at this time. But what you can do is access the equity and leave the funds in, say, like an offset account, so that you're not actually paying interest on the equity that you've accessed, but it's there for you to use. And what I've noticed in my 20 years as a broker is that when you need money is usually when it's hardest to borrow. And when everything is going well, then that's the time that the banks actually lend you more money than you need most of the time. So that's a great opportunity to be able to check in with your current situation, and if you've got really good income and you've got a lot of equity, potentially means that you've got an opportunity to access that money while you may not need it, but have it there for when you actually do need it. Jeff, using equity, I understand, but redrawing that equity is increasing the loan in itself. I believe it is all about max borrowing capacity. I'm happy they got 4 winners. Yeah, look, Jeff, it is a balance, and like I've said previously, when it comes to lending, we have to look at how much capacity you have in terms of borrowing, as well as the equity that you have available. Again, you may be in a position where your equity position is phenomenal, and I think it sounds like yours is, Jeff, but we just don't have, we're not in a position income-wise to actually borrow more. But this is more, I guess, around getting an understanding of how we could use equity to actually start the investment property journey, or to actually have the money available for when you actually need it. If it's sitting in your home loan, we call it lazy equity. If it's in your home and you're not utilizing it, is lazy money, and it could be out there, being invested in shares or other projects that could give you, a return, as opposed to sitting in your home loan and not actually doing anything. Again, there are, I think it is a conversation that not a lot of people have in regards to the difference between good debt and bad debt. And obviously we, encourage everybody to pay off their home loan as fast as possible. But if we get opportunity to access money to help us accelerate our wealth, then that's definitely good debt. We should access that as often as possible. Now, just quick overview in regards to the mortgage insurance. We have lenders who can help certain professions be able to access funds, be able to borrow more. So for example, if you're an essential worker, most lenders are going to be able to use 100% of your overtime. So essential workers are frontline ambulance officers, paramedics, firefighters, police officers, correctional services officers are classified as essential workers, nurses, aged care and disability workers, teachers, childhood educators, defense and military personnel. Now, besides that, we actually do have lenders who will not charge the LMI for specific professions. So you could have a 10% deposit and not have to pay the mortgage insurance. A lot of these are from the medical industry, audiologists, chiropractors, midwives, occupational therapists, physiotherapists, registered nurses, all have access to be able to just have the 10% deposit without having to pay the mortgage insurance. And then we've got medical policies from most of the big banks, 5% deposit, no mortgage insurance. Your dentists, your GPs, your hospital doctors, your medical specialists all have access to these policies. All my loans, 80%. Jeff says, all my loans, 80% LVR or better, 40.4, 50 LVR and super. That may be my mix. Absolutely. I mean, super is obviously one of the, the hidden wealth strategies that not a lot of people get, not a lot of, lenders, brokers. With the super, it actually requires a lot of knowledge, both from the brokers, the accountants, and the financial planners. If you've already got a self-managed super fund set up, that's great. If you don't, you actually need to talk to both your accountants and your financial planner to be able to set it up. But it is definitely worth having a conversation to see how much money you have in super and obviously how much you could borrow based on the super contribution, the potential rental, and how much funds you actually have in the super. All right, that's it for me today. If you enjoyed this content, like and subscribe. I will see you all next week and have a wonderful weekend.
Episode of Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a thing when we go live. Improve your portfolio and investing game, folks, with Wealth Coffee Chats live every morning at 8:10 each weekday. Make sure you join us. Previous episodes are also available wherever you get your podcasts, folks, as well as our other podcasts from the 6-Star team here at positivementor.com.au.